After what has felt like an eternity, we've finally received our first teaser trailer for the second half of Dragon's Rising 2nd season, showing off so many crazy things that Ninjago fans just can't wait to watch when the rest of the season finally releases. But when exactly will that happen? Along with an official teaser trailer, we're also gifted an official release window for the highly anticipated batch of new episodes, being told to expect the episodes in early October of this year. And I for one can't wait for October to come around so that I can finally watch these new Ninjago episodes, which are sure to— what do you mean the entire season got leaked 3 months early? Literally hours after the first trailer was released for the second half of Season 2, the entire batch of new episodes was somehow leaked online, quickly spreading all across the Ninjago community. You'd think that maybe these episodes were leaked through some sort of crazy cyber hack, but nope, the streaming service Peacock randomly just dropped them all on their service for all to watch. I guess they saw the trailer was released and thought that that was their cue to drop the episodes. Now, as we all know, Ninjago is certainly no stranger to awful release schedules. Crystallized suffered a somewhat similar fate, when the entire first half was dumped onto LEGO's YouTube channel on a random day of the week. But this Dragon's Rising situation really takes the cake. I don't think any Ninjago installment ever has had this bad of a release. We didn't even get a poster before the whole season was dumped online. As much as I do love getting plenty of new Ninjago episodes early, I can't help but feel terrible for the people who actually work on the show. All of their hard work just randomly being released online without giving them the chance to actually promote or talk about it. As awful as the situation is for the people behind the show, I can't help but find it sort of funny that the season All About a tournament ended up leaking the same day that the 2024 Paris Olympics began. It's almost like they tried to upstage the Olympics. As much as I do feel bad for the people working on the show, my empathy sure didn't stop me from watching new episodes myself. I try to be as morally correct as I can be, but when it comes to Ninjago, my moral compass goes right out the window. Unfortunately, that doesn't hold up in court, as you can imagine. This isn't going to be a massive review of the whole season, and besides the main subject of the video, I am largely going to be ignoring the rest of the season. If you really for some reason want to know my thoughts about the new episodes, I have got to know is that I mostly enjoyed this new season, but feel like there was lots of missteps and wasted potential. Chan's tournament still feels like the superior tournament, but who knows, my thoughts might change in 3 months, you know, when the season was actually meant to come out. Before the very early release of the new Season 2 episodes, I put together a little video all about what I was most excited about in this new season, that being my favourite ninja turning evil. I'm of course talking about Evil J, and you should totally check out that video as well, it'll be kinda really cool of you. In this recent Evil J centered video, I made a few predictions, voiced my concerns about Evil J, and had a couple of theories relating to how J might end up evil. And now that the new episodes and Evil J has been unleashed onto the world ahead of schedule, how exactly did this video of mine end up holding up? And after all that time of anticipating the reveal of Evil J in the show, what did I think of how they handled Evil J's story in the new season? I am very disappointed in Evil J. Cutting right to the chase, I can tell you that I was extremely disappointed after watching the new Season 2 episodes and seeing how they went about handling Evil J, the most anticipated part of the season for me and surely many others. It's very hard to say that I'm not disappointed when once again, Jay only appeared in one goddamn episode. Here I thought he would be a major character in the new season that actually had a large impact on the story, but joke's on me because of the third damn time, Jay only appeared in one episode before just leaving the tournament and not even showing up ever again, not even getting an MCU style post-credit scene. Speaking of the tournament, that was no doubt the biggest disappointing part of Jay's involvement. Before the new episodes were released, I was genuinely expecting Jay to be a monster in the arena, knocking out fighter after fighter before eventually being matched up against the ninja. And then in the actual episode he gets knocked out in his very first match. Sure, I wanted a Jay vs Lee match more than anyone else, but I certainly didn't want it to be the second match of the entire tournament and result in Jay getting knocked out in his very first match. The entire Jay vs Nia match was just so underwhelming. What should have been one of the biggest, most engaging moments of the entire season was just a footnote randomly thrown into the 4th episode of the season, really making it come off like they just wanted to get it out of the way fast. Before I rant about the fight between Jay and Nia, let's first backtrack to the actual introduction of Jay in this season, when he first appears in his full evil form. I was really hoping for Jay's identity to be a mystery for the majority of the season, but nope, he just walks out to reveal himself to the rest of the ninja. His reveal also isn't nearly as dramatic or intense as I hoped it would be, and should have been. Literally right after Jay reveals himself to be on Roz's team, Cole makes a joke about Jay just being a guy in a Jay wig, which really sucked all of the gravity out of the scene for me. What could have been a really tense moment is ruined by a quick joke from Cole. And Lloyd certainly didn't make this scene any better, simply saying they didn't know what happened to Jay after the merge after seeing Jay on Ross's side, kinda making it seem like he just did not care at all about Jay suddenly being evil, as he just sort of accepts it, shrugging the reveal off as, oh well, I suppose Jay's evil now, nothing we can do. And now onto the actual confrontation between Jay and Nia, which, as I have said before, I found very underwhelming. The first thing I want to bring up is the actual dialogue between the two ninja, as it all sounded so incredibly forced and stilted. Jay constantly calling Nia a lady, and I just hate that one line where Jay calls Nia a terrible ninja. It was just like a playground insult. It all just sounded so forced and not at all natural the way it was spoken and written. This might come off as a nitpick to many, but the dialogue for a scene as important as this should not be coming off as forced in any way. As for me personally, it really ruined the confrontation between the two, taking away all the emotional weight off the scene. The evil Jay vs Nia disappointment, unfortunately, doesn't just stop with Jay's forced and dare I say cringy dialogue, as I just have to bring up that for some ungodly reason, they just couldn't help themselves from constantly cutting away to show Gio's reaction, the guy who's never even met Jay before. I'm sure that Cole told Gio all about Jay while in the Land of Lost Things, so Gio would understand the stakes of the fight, but why keep showing him of all people? Why not show the ninja, the people who are Jay's family and friends? Sure, they do show the ninja reacting to the fight, with both Gio and the ninja both reacting at least 5 times each, but it just doesn't make sense to dedicate so much screen time to Gio of all people reacting to the fight. It adds pretty much nothing to the fight at all. If they really wanted to show the audience reacting, then they should have shown previous elemental masters the ninja allied with, like Tox, Paleman, and Nero. Nero literally showed up for a fraction of a second in the season, so this would have at least given him a little more screen time. Any of those three would have been more impactful than Gio. It would have been so much better if instead of Gio, we got to see Ed and Enda watching the tournament and seeing what Jay has become, or at least the ninja getting more chances to react to the fight. Again, this complaint will probably come off as very nitpicky, but constantly showing a character that has no real stake in the fight kinda brought me out of the moment to question why Gio kept showing up. Alright, that's enough negative Nancy talk. Why don't we for once praise evil Jay in season 2? I really wanted to see Jay be a total badass in this season, and I did sort of get that during the fight, with Jay starting to obliterate Nia once he used the wolf mask, actually making Jay look badass and strong for once, which really made me think that just maybe we would get a good evil Jay after all. And then he loses like 3 seconds later. I get that they really wanted to make this tournament different from Chen's, but the fact that we don't even get a proper 1v1 Jay and Nia match, and instead it's this gimmicky first to get the dagger wins match, really annoys me, as there's so much wasted potential for an actual fight between the two, but instead we get a glorified Mario Party minigame. Jay losing the match doesn't just eliminate Jay from the tournament, but also makes him seem even more weak and pathetic like he was in prior Wild Brain seasons. Even with Shatter Spin, nothing holding him back, and his elemental power, Jay couldn't win the match and barely gave Nia much trouble after she used Rising Dragon. And then of course, after losing his match against Nia, Ra sends Jay away, which was just awful to watch. After all that time anticipating Jay's evil return, he practically gets thrown out after just one match. A truly infuriating decision that just irks me to no end. After watching Jay leave the tournament and vanish once again, I couldn't help but think of all the wasted potential evil Jay had in this season. There could have been so many interesting character interactions if Jay just stuck around for more than a single episode. There are also just so many questions that still haven't been answered about Jay, like how the hell did Roz even find Jay? Did he just run into him at a gas station? There are so many questions that I really hope they actually answer in season 3. I feel like Jay was tossed into this season purely just to set up the next season, which I will not lie is some pretty good setup. After failing his new master, shattering his goodness and now being left alone, all of these and more could combine to create an incredibly interesting character arc for Jay in the next season, which hopefully involves Jay appearing for more than one episode and possibly even being a major villain in the next season. As much as I dislike the treatment of evil Jay in season 2, we are not without a victory, as not once did anybody make a comment about Jay peeing his pants. I suppose I should admit some fault for being let down by evil Jay, as I did sort of set my expectations too high. It's not like they plastered him everywhere in the marketing, as well there was literally no marketing at all when the season dropped. Now I'm kinda glad I leaked 3 months early, as now I don't have to wait those 3 months only to end up disappointed by evil Jay. I really hope that the writers will be able to turn around my opinion of evil Jay in the next season, which if season 2 is anything to go off, will be leaked in the next 6 months.